Hi there, today is May 16th, 2020, and I'm Drutter. Today is the 62nd day of my lockdown diary here in a small town in south central British Columbia, Canada. And yeah, more than 2 months now. I'm out here today in my shop in the backyard with some darts and a dartboard. If you weren't here for the last video, I started throwing darts at the dartboard. Been recording out here in the shop because it has good sound and I can get away from the other sounds of construction and baby and other interruptions and sounds and get some recording and some thinking done out here sometimes. So what I wanted to talk about today is specifically very important. Again, I want to talk about censorship and the censorship that has been ramping up over the past couple of years, deleting videos, deleting information specifically, deleting entire channels, banning, shadow banning, hiding, blocking, age restricting, the COPPA, all that kind of stuff. And it has been escalating and escalating and escalating. And I think we're starting to see why more and more now, because people who are aware, awake, trying to spread real information, trying to spread the truth, trying to spread just their own opinion even, that doesn't go along with, say, the mainstream narrative that has been fed to us, is being restricted, limited, hidden, deleted, censored, removed, banned, blocked, and so forth. And it has been a real problem for people like myself who have worked for 12 years now on my channel. I'd say not full-time work, but I would say essentially I've made it a part-time job for 12 years. I put about that much time into it, 12 years at a part-time job, so about 6 years of full-time work, I guess you could say. And I've really not seen a lot of results for that, and a lot of that is because of censorship. And I've documented it over the years, and I'm not here to argue about it or to sound pathetic by saying that, you know, I should have more views or whatever. It is what it is, and I don't do it for views. I don't do it for anything like that, ego at all. I'm trying to get my message out, and I'm trying to get my voice heard. And that's what is the most important thing to me. And I think that deserves a dart right there. Or just to the left of center again. That could be a political statement, but let's move right along here. On March 10th, I experienced the beginning of another round of brutal censorship against me, which affects not just me, but I think maybe possibly everybody on the planet, if you'll bear with me. That was the day I uploaded a video talking about how cannabinoids, those are the compounds found in the cannabis flowers, may prevent viral infections. And that video was shadow banned. You don't get told you're shadow banned, of course, but you can tell that video just did not get views, no matter where I linked to it from, or who, you know, family members, friends, chat rooms, groups, forums, web pages, all that kind of stuff, social media, and other platforms as well, and doing other videos, in fact, other YouTube videos, asking people to go back and watch that video. Even after all that, the view counter says 200 views. And I supposedly have 9,000 subscribers here on YouTube alone. So something is up, especially when a video is talking about preventing viral infections during a pandemic, a viral pandemic that's going around. That's very important information. And if it was true, that information needed to get out to the people. But it didn't. And like I said, almost no views, no reactions, no buzz, nothing. Now, 2 months later, just about May 2nd, I got an email from YouTube, which is never a good thing. And the email said that that video from March 10th had been age restricted and it had its audience limited. Even further, after being shadow banned, of course. In other words, now you will never find that video unless someone links you to it directly. And of course I put the link down below for you if you want to go see it. It's a very simple video, and just the video itself just says there's a few safe, natural, possible treatments for viral infections. Cannabinoids, sunlight, and silver, like nanoparticle silver, like colloidal silver. But that, and with, you know, links to support for those claims from reputable universities, doctors, and hospitals all around the world. So for that video to be shadow banned and then later to be told me that it's age restricted and had its audience further limited is really upsetting. It really should not have been done. And the reason they gave is for promoting drug use. And we know that you can see almost all kinds of drug use on YouTube. You can look up people taking pills, getting drunk. You look up people doing massive bong rips. There's all kinds of cannabis use on YouTube. It's not necessarily drug use that they are against. Trust me, there's drug use all over YouTube. Specifically, even just videos of like, hey, I'm going to get as fucked up as I can in the next hour. Watch me. Come watch me for an hour. Get fucked up. Or whatever. That's all over there. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be. That's free speech. I will stand and defend those people. Absolutely. Even if I don't want to watch those videos. Of course. But from my video, which was documented, has links to verified sources, and all it was, no drug use was involved. All I was doing was saying that cannabinoids can prevent viral infections. I didn't even mention the coronavirus even. That's just the kicker on top of it all. So for it to be limited and restricted and further hidden for promoting drug use is disgusting. And everybody should be aware of that information. But that's only if it's accurate. And I have now been vindicated, because I'll link down below, of course, also. A study has, I think a couple weeks ago, come out from the university in Alberta, Canada, just next door, I guess, over from me, just east of here. It's not yet peer-reviewed, so we're waiting, of course, for that, but their preliminary results are incredible if you want to have a look. Basically, it's saying that the cannabinoids, specifically CBD, the non-psychoactive, more non-psychoactive cannabinoid, it just has a calming effect, more or less, and it has a wonderful effect on pain and other cancer and other things. But anyway, CBD acting along with smaller amounts of THC, that's the more psychoactive, more commonly known cannabinoid, working together reduce the ACE2 receptor expression in body tissues like the lung tissues. And that is absolutely vital, because without ACE2 receptors, that blocks COVID-19 from infecting human cells. It cannot get into the cell except through that receptor. So this effectively makes a person immune. Just basically, cannabinoids makes a person immune to coronavirus. As well as, of course, as I've mentioned before, and in that video previously, cannabinoids treat the symptoms of coronavirus. So inflammation, pain, all the various symptoms will be treated with cannabinoids, of course. But now we're finding confirmation. I shouldn't be surprised, because we'd already known that cannabinoids prevent viral infections in general, but now we know specifically they prevent COVID-19 coronavirus transmission. That is massive. And for my previous video to have been hidden from people, I'm not saying that that could have reached the whole world, of course not, but just the principle behind it, that information was censored for promoting drug use, and yet it was accurate, and people's lives potentially were lost because they did not get that information, makes me very upset. And I've documented for years and talked about for years the censorship on YouTube, and that itself is censored. You cannot find information about how badly things are censored because information about censorship is hidden. So people do not know how bad it is. And it's gotten to the point now where you literally cannot find the truth on YouTube and many other mainstream platforms, including BitChute, which is supposedly an alternative non-censored platform, and that's bullshit. It is not. LBRY is the only free, in terms of free to sign up and use, but also free from censorship and tyranny. The only free video platform that I know of, LBRY, LBRY. Please check it out. My account down below, I put everything up there, and including content that you can't find on YouTube. Because like I said, the truth is not found on YouTube, and sadly that is where People they go to Google and YouTube to type in searches nowadays to find out information, whether that's a good thing or not. Wow, that almost went off the board. That's what's going on. People do that, and for them to be censoring and hiding this kind of information, that shows the scientists were very clear about it. They say that cannabis extracts may become vital therapies against this pandemic, and that further study on the topic is vital and important to be done immediately, and to be hiding the known information that CBD and THC working together can prevent the virus from spreading, or from people from being infected, or people from being infectious. That is just so huge, and it's just so criminal that has been hidden. And is this video even going to be up for very long? I don't know. I will put my links to other platforms down below so you can follow it there as well. But it's just disturbing how this information could have saved lives, and it didn't because it wasn't able to get out to people. The level of censorship goes beyond what most people know and understand. You probably, I'm not trying to insult you, but you probably do not know the level of censorship. I have studied this. I have been involved in it. I have been heavily censored from multiple directions, from multiple years now, and I've watched it. I've seen the patterns. I have watched it happen from inside and from outside, and I have been on the other side of it, and I have done censoring before myself as well too. I know how this goes. I know how that works. And this, let me tell you, is the worst I have ever seen. This is diabolical. Lives are being lost directly because of this censorship, and this is absolutely going to go down in history as one of the most treacherous times that we have ever gotten through as a species, and it is absolutely unprecedented, the level of censorship that is controlling the narrative. It's an information war, and that has been said for years and decades even, and that's true. And we are now at the absolute peak and pinnacle of that war, and I think it can only get more dramatic from here. The truth is almost impossible to find in the mainstream now, and anyone who even speaks the truth now is considered by other people to be a criminal, to be a terrorist, to be psychotic, to be basically they consider those people trying to corrupt them. They feel that people like us are trying to infect them, and they have to block that thought. They have to block those thought patterns. They can't be around us. They don't want to be exposed to that kind of thinking, to that kind of information. They can't hear it. They can't allow it. It doesn't jive with their worldview. And that is so dangerous because the truth is not allowed into those people. They don't need the censorship anymore. They'll censor it themselves. They'll block any information that doesn't already jive with the mainstream media. There are so many people like that. You cannot help them. You cannot fix them. And for cannabinoids to be a potential treatment, a potential preventative treatment for this illness, and for it to be rampaging across the world when a safe, known treatment could be deployed, or at least that information could be allowed to be spread and allowed to be received by the people, and further research to be done at the bare minimum. But we are not doing that. We aren't. We have no freedom of speech anymore. Just because you're hearing this message doesn't mean that anyone else is. You are one of the only people that's hearing this message, believe me. It's not getting out there. I'm not being heard. This information is vital. Lives are being lost. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching. And thanks for doing whatever you can to get this information out there. Not just sharing it, not just liking it, all that kind of stuff, but take it with you. Tell people about it. THC, working along with CBD, can prevent coronavirus infection. That's very important. And I was talking about it in March, before the lockdowns. And it was blocked and censored. As will be this message. Stay well.